You know, Hunter Douglas has a great brand. You guys have a great brand. You recognize it everywhere. I can see your dealers. When we're traveling across North America, we see it's easy to spot. It instills confidence in the mind. Your brand equity is absolutely huge. Like, you really want to go sell for somebody else. If you're going to sell what you sell in window coverings and window dressings, who are you going to go sell for? Like, who has a better brand than Hunter Douglas? So you've worked very hard to establish that. But, you know, brand gets you so far. Brand will get you to the table. But it's evolved now to what we call brand experience. Let's talk about that for a minute. Starbucks, do they really make good coffee? Any Starbucks snobs here? Raise your hand if you're a Starbucks. Me too. I Google them everywhere I go. I make sure I got Starbucks. I never want to be, you know how people go to hotels and they steal the soap and they steal towels? I steal Starbucks. So I get there and I take extra packs. I get to the elevator. I was coming down to the meeting here today and the service cart's outside my room and there's a whole box of these little Starbucks packs. It's like, man, I'll take a whole kit and just make a dash for it because I never want to be without my stash. Now, is it true they over roast their coffee? Well, maybe a little bit. That could probably be argued. So I like their specialty drinks as well. But here's the important thing. Starbucks is not about their coffee. Well, here's their brand experience. They created what we call the third place. There's home, there's office, there's Starbucks. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go back to the office. Let's meet at Starbucks. It's the meeting place. So that's, and how they do it, they employ all 5 senses in their offering. Sight, sound, smell, taste, feel. You walk into a Starbucks, what's the lighting look like, good or bad? It's not bad. Incandescent, looks good. It sounds good. You can even buy the music that's playing. One of the fastest growing businesses in the music industry. It smells good, whatever you're drinking or having, whether you even like coffee or not. It tastes good and it feels good. So here's the lesson for us as business professionals. And when you go back and work with your dealers, do a sensory audit on their stores. Hey, one of the things we do at Hunter Douglas to enhance that brand experience, look at what the site looks like in the store. What does sound look like? Smell, taste, feel. How are you employing them? Rate them on a 1 to 5 and then show them how they can enhance each of those senses. It's a better experience. Let's talk about Harley Davidson. Now their logo is what we call a love mark. People love that logo so much they will tattoo it to their body. What if Hunter Douglas was a love mark? Marv told me just before I came up, he said, anybody gets it tattooed on, he'll pay for it. Like it's underwritten, it's not a big, like imagine, hey, look what I got. Like, I'm bad. You know, imagine having that Hunter Douglas nice tattoo there. It's a love mark. Well, does Harley really make good motorcycles, yes or no? If they made airplanes, would you fly on it? With a parachute. Harley is not about the motorcycle. Here's what they created for their brand experience. They created what we call rebel lifestyle. They created an opportunity for a middle-aged American to dress up in leathers, ride through small towns, and have people be afraid of him. And we paid $30,000 for the privilege. So here's the question that begs to be asked then. What's our brand experience? What's the Hunter Douglas experience? See, we're really good at innovation. We're really good at design. We're really good at our marketing. We're really good at our websites. We're really good with our catalogs. Our stuff's phenomenal. It doesn't get any better. You've got world class right across the board. Now, when you come into my store, I'm having an experience with you. What have you done to design that? Where's your design? Where's your blueprint? Where's your schematic? Where's your rendering? What's that one look like? Now, when you work with your dealers and you're trying to evolve your dealers, what's the dealer's experience? So as a customer, when the Vickers family comes into a store, I'm having an experience with you whether you like it or not. And how much control do you have over that? What can you do to implement that so the best experience really wins the day? So I'm going to share with you some ideas on what you can do to enhance an experience, because that's a you thing, nothing to do with Hunter Douglas, and then how you can help your dealers and how you add value to your dealers as well. And we'll have some fun with that. First of all, we need to say no to imitation. And here's what I mean by this. I talk all over North America most days of the week, and I always ask my audiences who's amazing at what they do. And guess how many times my audiences put their hands up and go, my Hunter Douglas dealer. Guess how many times? Guess how many? Never. It never happens. Ever. I've never had, now it might happen in pockets here and there, but it never happens. I just don't get, hey, they're amazing. I get Nordstrom's, I get Dell, I get Starbucks, I get Lexus, we get lots of Four Seasons, I get JetBlue, we can go on, but they never say my Hunter Douglas dealer. So good news here, I think we have an opportunity. See, we make great products, can't help with that part. You guys are already good at that. But what about the experience? And this is ours to grab. Now, I have a theory of why I think this is the way it is. Show of hands, how many of you wanted to work for Hunter Douglas or be a rep for Hunter Douglas ever since you were a kid? Oh, okay. Usually there's one suck up in the group or two. Okay, good. The truth is, you're all here by default. You were supposed to be something else, all right? Now, I don't have a problem with you being here. I was going to be a doctor, so that's a fair deal. But if you're going to be here, why not show up? You see, here's what happens. We not only have to show up. It's not just being on the treadmill. I think you're in the right place. And the reason I know it's true is because you're here. Otherwise, you would be there. Like, it's pretty clear. But if you're going to be here, what if you showed up? So many of us are just working, and we've been working, and we're burnt out. We get burned out. So how do we reinvigorate ourselves? How do you reignite that? How do you show up on purpose and with purpose? Marv talked about it this morning. Talked about get that fire in your belly. Well, why not? You're here anyway. There's lots of theories of what happens next. I don't know. I've read them all. Not so sure. I do know we have, 80, 85 years if we're lucky. And so if you're going to be here anyway and you're going to play this game, because it's a game, why not play it full out? Why not play it to win? Why not have fun doing it? So I want to share with you some things to help make that some fun for you as well. So we need to say no to imitation. In other words, there's no one we need to go and be like. To grow, companies, Hunter Douglas needs to break out, and not us, it's mostly our competitors in our case, need to break out of the vicious cycle of competitive benchmarking and imitation. They come out with a website, we come out with a website. We come out with this, they come out with that. We come out with something, they copy us. And in our case, we tend to be the innovators. So usually we're the ones set, and then they come out with something and try and do it. And it's an ongoing game. The good news is we don't have to really worry about that. That's not an area we have to focus on. We have really smart people on board with Hunter Douglas to make that happen. Here's the theory part of today, and I'll read this for us. This is an essay about what it takes to create and sell something remarkable. It's a plea for originality, passion, guts, and daring. You can't be remarkable by following someone else who's remarkable. And one way to figure out a theory is look what's working in the real world and determine what those successes have in common. But what could the Four Seasons and Motel 6 possibly have in common? Or Neiman Marcus and Walmart? Or Nokia bringing out new hardware every 30 days or so? And Nintendo marketing the same Game Boy 14 years in a row? It's like trying to drive while looking in the rear view mirror. The thing that all these companies have in common is they're outliers. They're on the fringes. Super fast, super slow, very exclusive, very cheap, extremely big, extremely small. And the reason it's so hard to follow the leader is this. The leader is the leader precisely because he or she did something remarkable. And that remarkable thing's now taken, so it's no longer remarkable when you decide to do it. You follow? Follow where we're going? So it's about creativity. It's about innovation. So just as we are good and excellent at innovating products and bringing them to the marketplace, we have to be good and innovate and create experiences to the marketplace, and ultimately it will become a determining factor. And we'll demonstrate that as we go. You do not merely want to be the best of the best. You want to be considered the only ones who do what you do. So you're doing it anyway. You're here anyway. You're showing up anyway. You're putting in your 50, 60 hours every week, and you're busting your chops. You're away from your family. You're a road warrior, you're doing all those things anyway. Why not be as productive and maximize that potentiality? Experiences are distinct from services as services are from goods. So here's how it worked out. We came out with goods, we came out with raw materials, and we made stuff. We made our window dressing. Then we came out with services and stores, and we brought dealers on board. And we have dealers, 4,000 dealers across North America helping us distribute and sell our products to consumers, to the Vickers family. Where's it evolved to today? It's the experience economy. Experience trumps the service. If everything is equal, and you have a better experience with me than with that guy or that girl, I win. So what are you doing into the experience part of it? And it's very tough to duplicate because it's so you-based. This is you Inc. based. It's not really about Hunter Douglas. It's about you and what you bring to the table. So I want to show you some ideas on what we can do to maybe improve that experience. So our goal ultimately then should be the preferred provider. Preferred means first choice. You're the emotional favorite. You're the emotional favorite. So when a customer comes in, they want Hunter Douglas, they insist on you. Now, here's where I'm coming from. If the pie's expanding, the market's getting bigger, we get our piece of it, and we get our 25 or 30 or whatever our number is, depending on our marketplace and our product lines, and that's fine. But when the pie's contracting, we have to be able to go and take pie from someone else. Now, I run into professionals all the time, and we go, we just want our fair share. No, that's like way too Canadian. Where's my Canadians? Raise your hands, my Canadians. Where are your hands? They know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. Over here, good. We want more than our fair share. I'll give you an example. Canadians and Americans have Thanksgiving a month apart. And up in Canada, there's a great restaurant, and I always go up there. It's called Earl's. And Earl's, I had my daughter lives up there and actually works there while she was going to university. And Earl's makes the best pumpkin pie. And we get up into that restaurant, and I always phone ahead. Now, I'm a berry pie or rhubarb pie kind of guy, and I don't even like pumpkin pie. They shouldn't even call it pumpkin pie because it's more like heavenly pie. And I always phone ahead, make sure there's a piece for me. And we get to the restaurant, and the waiter comes up and says, "Sir, would you like some of our featured pumpkin pie?" And I'm going, "Yeah, that's why I'm here. Big piece of pie with my name on it." "Ma'am, what would you like?" "Well, I'll just have a bite of his." "No. Whatever comes is like a perfect portion. One bite less. I feel ripped off." Because it's never one bite, is it? But what do you want to do? You want to share. It's like, no, you get your own piece of pie. I'll finish what you don't finish. You have to protect your pie. You got to look after your pie. You got to circle the wagons. You got to protect your turf. So when the pie's getting, and people are attacking, and there's only so many dollars that are going out there, we have to go out and take pie for someone else, and we have to have the stomach for that. Number two in our little theory is we must continually challenge our assumptions about our competitors, our customers, and ourselves. Because if our assumptions are wrong, our results can be devastating. My job is to challenge your assumptions. I don't do what you do. You are the expert. You guys are the ones pounding it out every day. But I can look at you from 36,000 feet and go, "Well, how come you guys do it this way?" "Well, we've always done it that way." "Well, why?" "Marv said so." "No, but this is how we do it. And we do it this way, and we do it this way, and we do it this way." And that's all cool, and I'm not saying I'm right. My job is just to challenge and go, let's take a look at it. Let's think outside that box. And you're really good about doing that. So I want to challenge that, and we want to look at some of our assumptions. Number three, people, the Vickers family, your dealers, your potential dealers, make their decisions based on emotion, justified with logic second. Agreed? We're all salespeople. Isn't that how it works? We do the homework with our head, but we pull the trigger with our heart. If we don't like you, it's not going to happen. It's as simple as that. So if we don't like you, it's never going to happen. So the question is this: how are we selling? How are we servicing, emotionally or logically? Should be both. First assumption I want to challenge, I think you've all been sucked into the logic vortex. I think we've gone through just miserable times and hard work, and we've had to work extra hard to make it all happen so that the recession really didn't happen for us, right? But in reality, it has an impact. But prior to that, the 7, 8, 9, 10 years prior to that, you've been working your butts off. We all have. It's what we do. And I'm okay with that. But what we have to do is keep challenging that assumption. And then I'm here to help you to remember that the customer, the Vickers family, your dealers, it's an emotional decision. And we have to trigger those emotional triggers. If we don't activate them, all right, they're not going to do business with us. So I'm going to share with you some of those triggers and what those might look like, and we'll have some fun with that. Look at number 4. Our customers, Vickers family, potential customers, we are customers, your dealers, we're stressed out. Are we stressed out as people, yes or no? My wife and I, we have 7 children. Do you think I'm stressed out? I have 5 girls. Exactly. I buy feminine hygiene products at Costco by the pallet. It looks like a queen-size mattress in the back of the pickup. Drop a bowling ball, it won't spill your wine, but geez. I'm with you people, and who's watching the hen? They're all beautiful girls, but I'm sharing time with you, but who's watching the house? It's stressful for me. I'm on airplanes all the time. We got the war thing. We got the Middle East thing. We got SARS thing. We've got H1N1 thing. It's like one freaking thing after another. Have you just not noticed that? Well, we're stressed out, but here's the key. I'm going to suggest this. We'll become preferred. Hunter Douglas will become preferred in your markets if you'll first identify the stress, and I'm going to show you how that works, of your dealers and your customers, and help your dealers identify the stress better than your competition. B, remove the stress better than the competition. And C, connect in a meaningful way. It's about connection. That's why the internet's so big. That's why, we're tweeting now and we're on Facebook now, and we need to have that presence. And I know sales reps are tweeting to their customers and their real-time information back to their customers. This works for my kids as well. Can anyone relate to this? You're driving your kid to school. You're driving them to school and go, "Hey, how was your day?" "Fine." "What'd you do?" "Nothing." You get this one-word answer, and you're thinking to yourself, grade 12, and I'm raising freaking idiots. Like, is it just me, or are we cool with that? So it's frustrating. I text them now. I have way better conversation. I just text them. I find out way more. I creep their Facebook pages, find out what's going on. I send them little messages. Way better dialogue than I do just trying to even talk to them. So I connect to them. I even have some of their friends asking to be my friend. It's kind of wacky. I was speaking at a university group a number of years ago, and I said to this group, and we're talking about Facebook. Let me give you a stat here. What if I told you that your children were checking their Facebook accounts 15 to 18 times a day at school? What do you say to that kid? I actually said that to this university group. I said, what are you guys doing? You need to get a life. Guy says to me, how many times a day do you check your iPhone? Shut up. You know, it's like, that's the top 10, 15% of university students today. That's the top 10 to 15%. So where are we going to be in that loop? So it's about connection.